welcome to Sullivan's Farm. It's a couple of days since my last confession and the weather has got worse since then. The wind today blew over the dog's house. That was the first job this morning to try and fix that up. It's been raining pretty much since the last day as well. So we're inside in kind of what passes for, it's a bit messy, what passes for something of a tool shed, workshop, stroke, straw shed, and that's where I put the milk powder in the spring when the calves are here as well, to keep the crows away from it. As a kind of a pallet, kind of a secure pallet house. Since we last spoke, I've got a very harsh lesson in how the beef industry works and how it's reported on in the media. But look, we might tell you that tale of woe when we go out to the shed in a minute. What I'm going at, hopefully, first now is to try and cut these two blue barrels down the middle and turn them into feeders for the next cattle that are going to the factory, or well, they're not going to the factory. They'll be going to the mart in about a month or 6 weeks' time. I got a beef nut to try and finish them and roll barley, so I'm going to mix the two and give them maybe 2 kilos, I suppose, a day, something like that. And rather than throwing it on the silage, I'm going to make up a couple of feeders for them out of this, or that's the plan anyway. I haven't done it before, so we'll see how that goes. And sure, look, if and when we get something fashioned together, we'll go out to the other shed, pick out the other 4 cattle that are going next, and I might tell you the tale of woe then, or try and summarise very briefly the difference between quality assured and non-quality assured, and the difference between the beef and how the beef and the lamb factory prices are offered and given out, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we'll try and get something practical done first. I'm after putting a mark roughly in the centre, close enough to the centre. The cattle won't mind. Down the middle, so I'm going to try and cut that now with the angle grinder, and we'll see how that goes. That's our barrels cut anyway. We'll give them a wash here now with the hose and give them a chance to dry out before we put any of that expensive feed into it. Lads, you'd want nerves of steel at this carry-on sometimes. I turned my back while I was cutting the 2 blue barrels and left the bags of barley in here. And look what the lovely neighbourhood crows came along and did. Your heart would be just broken at times. But sure, look, what can we do? Get a bucket and clean it up. I did most of the cursing off camera, and then I thought, right, sure, we'll have to do something instead of just giving out about it. So I'm going to make another little house here for the bags to keep our neighbourhood crows away. Sure, look, the Wainlands aren't coming into this part of the shed for a few more weeks yet, so for the sake of the 10 or 15 minutes it takes to make this little makeshift crow-proof meal bean shed, we may as well do it. I did my best. I put bales on either side to try and hold it, and I lost patience with it, so I'm just going to cut my losses now, bring the bags inside, and then just carry the buckets out to this shed in the mornings and the evenings for the bigger cattle. So sometimes you just have to suck it up, offer it up, and swear off camera and blaspheme in every language you can think of. So so that's it then. Quick video. That's the feed trucks put in, and they're eating the cubes and they're all barley. I need to put some sort of little legs on the trucks as well, just to lift them up a little bit and keep them in place. And as you can probably tell, we're finishing in the dark. First evening finishing in the dark. But sure, look, it's that time of year and we have to get on with it. And it's the part-time farmer's constant lament that there's never enough time to get around to all the jobs or to finish the jobs properly. The last thing I suppose is just on the beef QA and all that. But you look, really all it boils down to is a misunderstanding. I got things wrong. I assumed QA was on top, the 20 cent a kilo was on top of the agreed price. But I have since been had it explained to me that the price quoted includes QA. The default is that they assume people are in QA, which is the opposite of what the case was when I was sending off lamb to the factory. Then you agreed a price, and the QA 10 cent a kilo, which was worth a massive €2 a lamb, wasn't worth it. So I suppose, look, what I need to do now is go into the Borbia QA quality assurance scheme again. I was in it before. For the lamb, it wasn't really worthwhile for €2 a lamb. It just, I couldn't justify the effort involved. But it's a completely different kettle of fish for the cattle. I don't agree with the system, but it is what it is, and I'm not really holding any cards. It's the bones of, depending on the price of cattle and the type of cattle you're sending off, it's between 100 and 150 euro per animal. That's what it would be for me. So look, we won't go into the maths of it, but if I sent off 6 of them and I was in QA, I'd have had so much extra. So answers on a postcard for how much that was worth and how much that stung when I got the phone call yesterday morning. But look, it is what it is. I understand it better now, and I won't be caught like that again. So look, we'll talk to you the weekend, and we'll have better news then. Hopefully the weather will have picked up a bit, and there'll be no finishing in the dark. So thanks a million again for watching, and mind yourselves. Good luck.